Best friends don't kiss, do they? But boyfriends do. By Haruo89 on 83. Episode 6. Chapter 2. Kiss me like I'm your boyfriend, idiot. Get out of your head, Halfie. Kiss me. Shouto interrupted him when he finally finds his voice, sharply turned his head to look at Katsuki's stunned expression. What? You're fucking drunk. I'm not gonna kiss you. You don't want to, Katsuki. His mouth seems to run without filter, limbs moving on their own until Shouto is climbing into Katsuki's lap and crowds him against the backrest of the couch. Bakugo's hands go to his hips for support, but don't push him off. They don't pull him closer either. Shouto, you reek of alcohol, and you can barely hold yourself up. Let's get you to bed. So you don't care about me. Am I that easily disposable? What are you doing all this just because you feel bad for me? Trembling hands crawl their way to angle Katsuki's face towards him, make sure that the blonde is looking at him and seeing all the hurt in Shoto's eyes. Where the fuck is this coming from, Sho? What the fuck are you talking about? Shouto laughs bitterly, hurt by the way Katsuki is trying to deflect. He can't think straight, and all the alarms in his head ring that his best friend is someone he doesn't deserve, someone unattainable, someone Shouto could only wish to have to himself. That's why they do nothing more than best friends. I'm in love with you, you asshole. It sounded like an accusation, but Shouto's voice is low and timid, afraid that he'll instantly regret saying these things out loud. I love having you as my best friend, but I want more, Katsuki. I want to hold you, kiss you, and have sex with you, but you don't want to, because I'm just a friend to you, and I'll never be something more. Shouto, hold up. I never said. Shouto doesn't remember when he started kneeling at Katsuki's shoulder and pawing at his shirt, seemingly to get off somehow, and his hips are low, grinding in his lap. But there's a wet streak on his face, and he realizes he's crying when Bakugo cups his face and thumbs at his tears. Come on, baby. Let's breathe together. We need to calm down, okay? You're overwhelmed, Sho. He lets Bakugo guide him through it, only because the soft baritone of his rough voice soothes the storm brewing in Shoto's chest, and the melodramatic way his hand rubs at his temples manage to relax him. Best friends suck. They suck. And having Shouto as his best friend sucks, and it's bullshit, and Katsuki is going crazy. Because no matter what he does, no matter how many times he welcomes Shouto home with his favorite meal, holds him close after a heavy mission, kisses him in empty hallways at parties until he's panting in a blushing mess, no matter that, he's still just that. A friend. And it sucks so fucking much that Katsuki wants to grab him by the shoulders and shake him until the words best friend spill out of him, and the only thing he'll be able to call him would be boyfriend. His boyfriend. Shoto's boyfriend. It sucks. And what sucks even more is having Shouto break down in tears while he demands Katsuki, in a drunken slur, to kiss him. I love having you as my best friend, but I want more, Katsuki. I want to hold you and kiss you and have sex with you, but you don't want to because I'm just a friend to you. And I'll never be something more. Having a drunk, horny, and crying Shouto had never been part of his plan. For all of his hero participation, Katsuki never thought he'd get to this point. The point of having Shouto with tear-struck cheeks, grinding in his lap while crying about how much he loves him, and how much he hates that they're just best friends. He should have expected this. Was warned about this by fucking Izuku, of all people, because he can't seem to keep his nose out of everybody's business, and since his two closest friends are also his best friends who sometimes, more than a lot of times, kiss and cuddle and hug and act way more like a couple than other couples in their friend group, he found it appropriate to warn Katsuki about it. About how they should put a name to what they're doing. How they should choose what they meant to each other before one of them gets hurt, or both of them do. Before all of this could happen. And since Katsuki was one of the biggest fucking cowards in the face of the fucking earth, he's now got a crying Shouto in his lap. A crying Shouto who stupidly thinks that Katsuki doesn't care about him, who probably made up this stupid, empty head that Katsuki is only toying with him. Despite himself, unlovable because of a shitty old man who fucked up his childhood. But Katsuki can't get mad. Doesn't want to get mad at Shouto. Never at Shouto. And right now, because they both fucked up, and since Katsuki's the only one sober, he has to keep a clear head and be there for Shouto. Shouto, I promise we'll talk about this in the morning, okay? You're drunk now and you're tired. He's whispering in Shouto's ear, holding a shaking frame and rubbing circles on his back. It's unclear if Shouto nods or shakes his head, but later he hears a gobbled noise akin to his name, and he lifts them both off the couch and carries Shouto to the bathroom. Can you do it yourself? Katsuki inquires, watching the way Shouto's unblanched feet touch the ground as he opens a door to their shared bathroom. He doesn't look like he's going to spill out his guts, but Katsuki has to make sure. He doesn't trust Shouto to not slip and crack his head on the edge of the sink. I think I'll manage. Shouto props one hand on the doorframe to keep himself upright, and Katsuki sighs through his nose, clearly not convinced, though he thinks Shouto would likely have him cowered over the bathroom. So Katsuki waits by the door, listens closely to any signs that might indicate Shouto's body hitting the floor. But none comes. When Shoujo emerges out the bathroom with wet hands and droplets clinging to his bangs, idiot forgot that towels exist, he lifts himself in his arms once more and walks them to his bedroom. You don't have to do this. I can walk on my own. Shouto looks like he's fighting the urge to lean his head on Katsuki's chest, like he usually does, when he's too tired to use his own legs, and looks at Bakugou with those doe eyes and stupidly cute pout and raises his arms. A sigh that he wants to be picked up. I doubt you can, princess. No reason in fighting about it now. I'm taking you to bed. He should have fucking figured it out before Shouto spilled his heart out for him tonight. Should have put two and two together and realized that Shouto's been throwing himself at Katsuki without even knowing it himself. They've both a couple of emotionally stunted idiots. Katsuki concluded when he's gazed down and sees Shouto's face turned away from him, but a pretty gray eye sneaking glances his way. Bed? Did you decide you want us to have sex? Katsuki would have choked if he hadn't witnessed the barge of confession from Shouto earlier, and now he only pushes Shouto's head to rest, hoping the adorable idiot won't comment on how fast his heart is beating, and opens the door to his bedroom. No, you're going to sleep, and in the morning we're going to talk about all of this, okay? He doesn't know if Shouto's still tipsy enough to not comprehend his words, or he chooses to not pay attention to Katsuki, but he stays silent while Bakugou pulls out sleeping clothes for him. I don't want to sleep. What if you leave? You don't want to kiss me, and how do I know you even want me at all? He's kept his head low, avoiding Katsuki's eyes, fingers gripping tightly to the fabric of his jeans. It hurts like hell to see Shouto's feeling so insecure about their relationship, about the fact that Katsuki wouldn't want him, despite them already being so close. Muttered curses fly by past lips, all addressed to that insufferable nerd. Katsuki hates it when he's right, and sitting down next to Shouto, leaving the foiled pajamas by the foot of the bed, callous hands pry Shouto's slender fingers from where they were digging into his own thighs and intertwine their fingers, making sure to keep his hold firm, not giving Shouto any more reason to doubt his actions. I'm not gonna leave, Shouto. Don't say shit like that. Who says I want to leave? But you refuse to kiss me. You're drunk, Shouto. You might not even remember what happened tonight. I'm not going to fucking take advantage of you like that. It's fucking disgusting. Katsuki keeps his head low, peers down to gloat Shouto's expression, trying to catch his eye. You went on a date. The one Kirishima talked about. Are you really looking for someone to date? Fuck. He knew he didn't imagine the way Shouto stiffened next to him when Kiri brought that up, and the way Shoto stopped leaning into him, and his back turned rimrod the second the idiot started talking about his so-called love life. Shoto clenches his hand around on instinct, trying to fist them, but Katsuki's own are in the way, and he doesn't let them go, bringing them onto his lap, and start choking the back of the palm like he's coating a timid flower to open up its petals. That wasn't my idea. The idiot planned it out, and Shitty here called me to go out with him, but it turned out to be some stupid blind date. I'm not looking for anyone, Sho. I promise. How could I even look another direction when you're right here? When you're all I want and look for the rest of my life? But he's been an asshole about it. Let Shoto drag him into kisses, fall asleep tangled up with each other on the couch, cooked for him every day and went on call with him and his friends. And it's not like he hated their friendship. Having Shoto as his best friend had been so fucking good. He'd never thought he'd find someone so understanding as him. Their sole mistake was not acknowledging their growing affection for each other. Chalked it up to something best friends do. But you still don't want me. Hey, who said I don't want you? Have you heard me say that shit ever? Shoto shakes his head. See? Now stop making shit up. You're still buzzed, and you need a sleep show. But I still have a lot to tell you. Katsuki brings one hand to his lips and presses the thumb over them to shush him, smiling, pleased at the pink blush settling on Shoto's cheek. We'll talk about it in the morning, I promise. There's no point in talking about it now with you feeling like this. You look like you're about to pass out, princess. Shoto doesn't look happy with the situation, but he also looks way too sleepy to argue about it, so he slowly pulls away from Katsuki to change into his pajamas. He stumbles over the leg of his jeans and elbows himself in the rib when taking off his shirt. In all, it looks so ridiculous that Katsuki had to step in and aid. You're gonna trip over, Sho. There's no need to rush. Let me help. He helps him put the t-shirt Shoto stole from him back in high school, the neck of it stretched and worn out, still looking way too big on him. Next come the pants, and Shoto almost falls over when he tries to balance himself on one leg. Will you kiss me now? Shoto asks, voice dripping with exhaustion, but at least it doesn't slur anymore. Can't do, princess. Go to sleep and I'll kiss you in the morning. He sweeps the hair out of his face and pulls a blanket over him till it reaches his chin, just the way Shoto likes it. Not even a small one? He's pushing it, and he knows it. But he's also directing those starry eyes in Bakugo's direction, and he's only human. A weak and whipped human when it comes to Shoto. The chase kiss ends up pressed in the middle of Shoto's forehead, and when Katsuki pulls back, the pretty idiot looks like he's been touched by the sun. Flushed face and wide eyes, pink lips darted almost in awe. But he soon purses said lips up, wordlessly asking for a proper kiss. But Katsuki doesn't relent. As much as he would love to, he won't. He has to be strong enough for the both of them, and keep all this for when Shoto's sober enough to be aware of what he's saying and asking for. He's fucked up their relationship enough. He cups both of their cheeks with one hand and squeezes his face gently. You'll get your kiss when you wake up, princess. Good night, Sho. The response doesn't come until he reaches the door, and Katsuki's halfway out their doorway, but he smiles fondly at the "Good night, Katsuki," whispered behind him. Being in love with your best friend means carrying him to bed when he's drunk, and having to stay awake for more than you should because the fucker went ahead and confessed, and now Katsuki has no idea what to do with himself. It should have been obvious that Shoto's in love with him, but he just chalked it up to him being touch-starved, having no idea what it meant to be best friends with someone. And it wasn't like having someone kiss and hold without having to acknowledge the sappy feelings came with being boyfriends. He should have known. Should have seen how Shoto felt about him. But he thinks it must have been the same way with Shoto. Despite Katsuki's obvious gestures of affection, how could he have known? How could he have known that Katsuki wants to make Shoto his and keep him forever and never let anything bad touch him? Not because Shoto's weak, but because Katsuki's weak for him. Katsuki loves him so much to let him get hurt, and now he went ahead and fucking hurt Shoto's own. He knows he should have put all the blame on himself, that they're both talking and talking and talking from each other, but never giving a proper explanation for what they are, and what they wanted from each other. Hours go by, and Katsuki pulls at his hair and stares at the wall of his own bedroom, chest aching. The more he thinks about Shouto. Because being in love with your best friend means moving in with him and going furniture shopping together. But what if we need it, Katsuki? Why would he need a cat slide? We haven't even adopted a stupid furball yet. The cat would enjoy it. I want to make sure it feels at home. It won't fit in our apartment, dumbass. It means arguing over the color of their drapes, which all-night poster they should frame, the limited edition one or the signed one. How many plants Shouto is allowed to set on their balcony before there is no room left for them to even step out. Being in love with your best friend means glaring intensely at all the extras who look Shouto's way in hopes of striking conversation with him. Katsuki's arms securely wound around his waist, sometimes even going as far as tilting Shouto's face towards his to make sure his attention stays on him and not the asshole who just attempted to grope him. Katsuki would have snapped his arm in half if he wasn't busy trailing fingers through Shouto's silky hair. Look at me, princess. What is it, Katsuki? Do you want to leave? We can go if you feel like it. And Katsuki would learn in and kiss, not really bothered to check if any of their friends notice. They were too busy drowning drinks or making fools of themselves on the dance floor to see them, but hoping that the losers would dare to think they had a chance with Shouto, saw them, and now they were scurrying out the bar. Being in love with your best friend means agreeing to kiss him. For practice, they said. Because they both haven't kissed anyone before. But they trust each other with this. And practice turned into habit. Turned into usual. Chase kiss before going on a long mission. Sleepy kisses when they were both too tired after too many hours of hero work without rest, but too stubborn to go to sleep yet. Still wanting to be around each other for at least a little while longer. Sloppy and desperate kisses in the dingy bathroom of a bar with loud music sleeping through the cracks of the door while Katsuki presses Shouto against the door and licks into his mouth. Being in love with Shouto Todoroki means being there for him every time he needs you. It means holding him when he wakes up from a nightmare, or when the world has been too cruel to him during hero work and all he wants to do is eat your cooking and snuggle into you on the couch. Being in love with Shouto is like feeling the third ray of the sun caressing your skin first thing in the morning. But because you're a fucking coward, you insist, out loud, that you don't like the sun, that you prefer, you deserve, to be left in the darkness, that you're not worth basking in the warmth and serenity of the sun. Being in love with your best friend means being woken up by warm fingers threading in your hair, silent murmurs close to his ear. Katsuki groans a little confused, as he couldn't remember exactly when he'd fallen asleep, but judging by the bunking-up blankets by the foot of his bed, he must have dozed off while he was worrying about Shouto. Good morning, Katsuki. He's all easy smiles and crinkled eyes. That pretty bastard. Like he didn't cry his heart out last night on Bakugo's lap. Didn't beg Katsuki to kiss him and make love to him because he was afraid that he'll be left alone. What time is it? He had almost felt like a train rammed him over, and the heaviness of his limbs and a result of not enough hours of rest. It's 9:30. I couldn't sleep much longer. I wanted to see you. Shouto's kneeled beside his bedside, keeping one hand in Katsuki's hair and the other supporting his shin, heterochromatic eyes roaming over his face. You were just in the other room. You see me every day. What if you leave? Shouto's face says it all, without him voicing any of his thoughts. It's in that way his smile slips just so, that makes Katsuki swallow thick around the guilt building inside him. Never mind. Are you hungry? I can make you soba. He offers, because he's always been shit with words, and what he knows best is showing his love through actions. Through cooking Shouto all of his favorite foods until he small smiles and soft-spoken Katsukis. Shouto shakes his head and blindly reaches over to grasp Katsuki's hand in his. I want to talk now. I don't think I could eat without going over last night. The shyness in his eyes is evident, but he's more confident and bashful, and Katsuki is grateful Shouto doesn't look like he's expecting him to flee out the door any moment now. It's unclear how much he remembers from last night, but it must be a lot since he woke him up, looking all smiley and pretty. Without breaking the hold with her hands, Katsuki pushes himself up into his back, rests against the headboard, dragging Shouto forward by the hand. Come here, princess. I want you close for this. Eager, Shouto climbs up onto bed until he's kneeling over Katsuki's lap and lowers himself, thighs bracing the latter hip. It's similar to how the position they found themselves in last night, but this time there's no tears spilling over Shouto's pink cheeks, there's no shaking of his shoulders, and they're both clear-headed. As much as they can be with Katsuki's freshly woken up. His hands are intertwined by Shouto's, who looks so fucking satisfied at the sight of their lace fingers. It settles the ugly feeling in Katsuki's chest, and fills him with reassurances, with the familiar feeling of content he has had each time they're together. I didn't want to say this last night when you were drunk, in case you wouldn't remember. But I love you too. Katsuki tries not to kiss the odd expression on Shouto's face, and goes on to say, so fucking much. You don't even know how hard it is for me to just not keep you all to myself. I want you all to myself too, Katsuki. Shouto whispers, tone even, and fingers flexed around Katsuki's. Don't interrupt me, sweetheart. Right? I love you a fuck ton. But I was a coward. I should have said something before we started fooling around and not clearing up how we both felt. Shouto is listening intently, hair cascading down his shoulders, edges of his bangs curling and framing his face, and Katsuki felt like he's holding a work of art in his arms. And I want you to be my boyfriend, damn it. No more of this best friend bullshit. I'm sick of it. Sick of not being able to call you mine. You're mine now, Shouto. Got it? He brings their faces together until their foreheads knock gently, and looks intently into gray and blue eyes. Only if you want to, of course. Shouto giggles, fucking giggles, in his face, and his hands are being let go in order of his face to be held so fucking gently like he's something precious, something to be treasured. Katsuki has to blink away the tears stripping at his eyes. I love you too, Katsuki, and I would want nothing more than to be yours. A loving kiss is pressed on his mouth, but it ends way too soon for him to be satisfied with the brief contact. But you're not the only one at fault. I couldn't tell the difference in how I felt about you as a friend, and as something more. I was the one who started all the kissing and touching. You only indulged me, like you always do. His face is caressed so tenderly that it definitely causes a tear to slip down his cheek, hitting the side of Shouto's thumb. Yeah, I want to spoil you too much, princess. Because he can't hold back. He bites at Shouto's bottom lip, but that pretty idiot only pulls away, apparently not done talking. So, we're good now. We won't feel like this when we can't talk about how we feel. I'm always here for you, Katsuki. You can tell me anything. I'm your boyfriend, right? Katsuki bites back a laugh, because if he wouldn't laugh, he'd cry, and bumps his head into Katsuki's sternum. Yeah, fucking yeah. You're my pretty boyfriend, Sho. Not going to back now. I'm never letting you go. He makes a show of wrapping Sho in his arms tightly and squeezing him until he hears him squeak. I don't tend to let you go either, Katsuki. Shouto gets his kiss, and many more after all. Katsuki promised to kiss him. Though, what he didn't promise out loud was how much of a mess he was going to make of Shouto when he got him into his bed. But his boyfriend doesn't seem to mind. Not when he's turned into blushing and giggling mess, the more Katsuki kisses all over his body and tells him how pretty and beautiful he is. Katsuki can finally stop running away from the sun rays, can stop lying to himself and everyone else that he doesn't absolutely adore having those warm hands on him, and that half-hot, half-cold mouth over his. He could finally bask into the heat of the sun, in the warmth of his boyfriend's love. Because being in love with your boyfriend means going out with him to the animal shelter to adopt a cat, and later on indulging him whenever he pleads you to get 2 cats. Katsuki, they're siblings. We can't separate them. Fuck it. We're adopting both. I'll go and fill out the stupid paperwork. Thank you, Katsuki. I love you. Yeah, Shouto. Love you too, idiot. That was so sweet. It was endearing, and it was sweet, and I quite enjoyed it. Thank you very much. I liked it. We're done with that one. I realize I need to pick another fic. Fuck! Why do I do this to myself? Why do I finish fics? What if, like, they never end? No, they need to end. I have an inbox. Absolutely amazing work so far. Super excited to see where this goes. Although I'm currently having 2 major issues with them, which aren't major, but I like to point them out. Unless I'm ultra blind, probably wouldn't be surprising. I don't think they explain anywhere to extent how Izuku's DNA changed. What does that look like? Oh my god. Fluffy man. I'm like, which one is this for? So I'll have to that. Also, tag suggested dead Midori Inko. I think I did already. Izuku needs a hug. Izuku does not need a hug. He already gets a hug. Izuku has a mutation type quirk. I really do need to transfer that. Izuku has a transformation type quirk and cat Izuku. I thought I did do cat Izuku Midoriya. Did I not do cat Izuku Midoriya? Oh my fucking god, have I not done cat Izuku Midoriya? Izuku Midoriya has a cat quirk, but not cat Izuku Midoriya. Okay. I thought that would just underfy that. I'll do some. I'll look that over. I thought I did Dead Inko as well. I could have sworn I did Dead Inko. I mentioned Dead Inko. For a second I saw Dead and I thought it was like, I had to tag major character death, which technically speaking, Inko's death is not a major character death. We don't even go in full detail on how she died either. Anyways, that is not what I was coming to do. But apparently my endnotes are manic. Not manic. That's a bad word. It's not a bad word. Chaotic. There you go. It's not a bad word. Not the appropriate word to describe what this is. And it's just out of organization, so chaotic. All right, because we already did. There's so many things that I need to get in line to, mark that I've read. I've been kind of slacking on that end. Not kind of. I've been slacking. Like a lot, actually. Okay, well, we need something else. So I could either do a Todobaku Deku, I could do a Gen fic. I already have one Gen fic, so I need another one. A Tododeku. I don't think I've done a Tododeku at all. And then take my hand, I'll lead you into death. What fic? What? It's good to worry on original characters. Where's the ship? Eraser Mike is one of the ships, and it seems like that is the only ship. Meaning I would probably qualify this as a Gen fic. Okay, yeah, that's a Gen fic. Gen. And then I don't have any. Oh, no, I do have more. They're over here. Okay, so then we have this one, which is cheat code. Why is cheat code here? Oh, that's why cheat code's here. My bad. I'll exit out of that one. We have control is lost. Control is lost, which is... I'm sorry, Aizawa and Detective Tsukuichi. It's an Izuku, it's a Shindeku, but that took me out of hand. I'm sorry. What? Okay. I'm not gonna go into that. Okay, that's good. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. My bad. Go back. Fire in our eyes, which happens to be, a Tododeku, a Shin Tododeku. Shin Tododeku, yeah, Shin Tododeku. Shin Tododeku. It's a long, lengthy one. Do I really want to do another long, lengthy one? And when I'm already doing another long, lengthy one? Ah, fuck. Okay, I'll see if I do that one. Then there is Kanari. And this one is, I think, a Shindeku. Oh no, it's Jen. Okay. Alright. Alright, okay. The inevitable gratitude of so, and this is, it's labeled as Jen, but then the relationship is labeled as Izuku slash Hitoshi. So I'm gonna say that is a Shindeku fic. It is an average length of a book, so it's not long, but it's not short. Jinxed. Okay, oh, I might do this one. That one seems interesting. I might do that one. Or this one. Let's see. This one's this is another long one. Okay. I think the one that I am gonna end up doing is this one right here. The Inevitable Gratitude of Shinso Hitoshi. Grasshopper of Anarchy. It's by Grasshopper _of _Anarchy. The Inevitable Gratitude of Shinso Hitoshi. Shinso Hitoshi is a struggling student working his ass off to support his younger sister while earning his hero license. In the complicated societal landscape of post-paramedic. Not paramedic. Oh, I forgot what that word was called. But you know, Japan. That's easier said than done. Post, as in like after that whole war happened. Okay, that's easier said than done, despite the continuous streaks of bad luck. Hitoshi's managed pretty well when a villain abducts him seemingly at random and frames him for several attempted murders. Entangled in conflict that leaves even the biggest pros catching up, Hitoshi finds himself fighting just to keep his head above water. As the danger mounts, one question remains: why is a villain targeting Deku, a total stranger, so hellbent on taking him down too? Background relationships. Past BKDK. I don't know if I'll do this one then. I'm joking. That's not what's gonna deter me. What's deterring me is this not focused on Shindeku? It's probably not. It's probably focused on the aspect of, like, you know, that villain and stuff, which is why I would be Shindeku back, which I guess that would explain why it's a genfic. Now that's explaining some of the categories that it's tagged as, but I don't really have any other that I could do. I mean, I could do Relationship for Dumbasses, which is a Todoroki. Well, I haven't done a Todoroki. Or I could do Remember Me. What's Remember Me again? Oh, villain. Oh, we have villain Izuku Midoriya, villain Uraraka Ochako, and villain Tenya. Okay. Well, okay. Okay. Kind of forgot about this one. I might do this one. I'm not gonna lie. Fuck it, I'm doing this one. Do not get me wrong, I think the Inevitable Gratitude of Shinso Hitoshi is another one that I'm probably gonna do sometime soon. But I should, instead of going to the list of ones that I've barely asked, I should probably finish the ones that I've asked beforehand. That being Remember Me, Your Presence is a Dream in This Godforsaken Nightmare. It's longer and it's a genfic, so I'm gonna wait till the genfic that I'm doing right now, that's a long series, stops. I'm trying not to do 2 long series at the same time. That's not gonna happen. I'm gonna try to do short series. At least 1 long series allowed and multiple short series allowed. At least right now. Your Presence is a Dream in This Godforsaken Nightmare, and then Relationship for Dumbasses, and then Take My Hand, I'll Lead You Into Death. There is a lot of fics I need to ask for next, like there's more Shindeku fics I need to ask, more Todoroki, more BKDK, more Ochako Toga fics, more Sararoki fics, more Eraser Mike fics, Eraser Mike centric fics, more Gen fics, and I kind of want to do a lot of Hot Wings. So I think that's probably the next ship that I'm going to focus on, Hot Wings, and get a bunch of ships from there. Again, it's a huge waiting game. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 fics up and ready to be lined up and taken by me. So it is literally just whatever gets into the bracket first, whatever I get to first, whatever I start doing first kind of situation, you know, which it is what it is, whatever I get to first. So, yeah. Anyways, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.